You know who loves Izotope? This guy. Everyone here at Ruinous Media can't get enough of Izotope's intuitively designed plugins for audio restoration, mixing, and mastering. This year, make a resolution to yourself to say goodbye to bad audio and hello to super clear, wide, dynamic, clean audio using Izotope RX11 and the new Ozone 12. Master every track's potential with their complete 20-tool suite. Go to izotope.com and use code FRET10 at checkout for 10% off. That's FRET10 at checkout for 10% off. And go to izotope.com. That spelling is izotope.com. I'd like to welcome our newest sponsor, Schecter Guitars. This holiday season, go over to schecterguitars.com and see what high-quality goodies they have waiting there for you. Premium feel and unbeatable price. See why guitarists like Isaac Brock from Modest Mouse, Robert Smith from The Cure, and Ernie C. from Body Count all love Schecter Guitars. A wide variety of styles and builds with high-end components and affordable prices for touring guitarists. Built to last. Go treat yourself and try something new you've always wanted to check out. Schecter Guitars has it all. Hey, what's happening? Before we jump into the show, I wanted to see if you had any music on a hard drive. You have a band, you have a project, and you want to self-release your own music. Well, there's an easy way to do it. You can go to distrokid.com/VIP/hyphenate and go get your music up on all the streamers. You keep 100% of your royalties, and you can get 30% off by using this code. It's a great, easy way to get your music up on the streamers and share it with your fans, your friends, your family, your mom, your dog, everybody. Everyone wants to hear it. But go to distrokid.com/VIP/hyphenate, HYPHENATE, and send me the link. I want to hear it too. Send your mom the link. Send your dog the link. They all want to hear it too. Welcome to the 420 edition of Hyphenate Halftime. It is me, your stony guest. Or what am I? No, I'm the host. You're the guest. Whoa.
Hey.
Dave's not here, man.
No
My name is Randy Randall,
man.
joining me as always. What was your name again? Mr. Aaron Farley.
Man.
There we go.
Come on, man.
What?
What?
420.
This is crazy.
I don't think I was ever a big 420 person.
Me neither.
It'd sneak up on me. The celebrated holiday.
I was never someone who partook for the most part.
Right.
In my younger days, it was like trying here and there, and then I was like, "This is you guys. What? I don't know what. I don't know what the this is. I don't have any good. I can't say that I have any like good experiences.
Yeah.
Anything that stood out for me.
Yep.
For me. Not that it's not for. I do have to say, it's like pain relief, things like that, like things like.
Oh well, now it's a whole sophisticated.
I had like a broken ankle and all that kind of thing. It was like okay,
it's helpful then.
Maybe, but then I'm like, this isn't worth it because I just feel kind of hungry and I don't know what's going on. So.
So
you're saying I'm gonna stay away.
It didn't really work for the pain relief part of it.
No, the pain relief part was fine.
Oh, okay.
And then was like, yeah, but where am I?
I'll
just take some Advil.
I'm also in outer space.
Yeah, Advil is working just fine for me. I'm okay.
Well,
I also feel like in my, like, even when my friends would do mushrooms and acid and stuff like that, which also never did, that we'd have conversations. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm right there with you already. I don't know. I don't know if I need the, I don't know if maybe the visuals, maybe that would be, there would be something there for me or whatever, but that the conversations that we're having about like the world and the control of the CIA and
I don't need the
potential aliens and all that. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Let's go. Come on. Yeah. I'm there. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Yeah. Oh, what I was gonna say is, it seems like our generation, we've seen it morph from stuff you'd buy in a baggie from some guy on a corner, going to someone's house and having to hang out for too long, to then now it's like you can go to an Apple store, go into like a retail environment. It looks like
basically
a pristine sort of high designed area, and you can break it into its most basic parts and have it reconstituted with mango
chutney breeze. You know, you can have it. It's it's become a whole other kind of industry that I just don't really know anything about. You know, it's definitely one of those things. Like I left that all behind so long ago that to look at it now, I'm like, I think it's, from what I hear from others, it's gotten a lot more potent and a lot more like specific. Like we didn't have, you didn't know if it was a sativa or a indica or a thing. It was just, you just smoked weed and like kind of like roulette wheel. Like, I don't know. We'll see what happens now. Oh shit. I'm really speedy. I'm really excited and really up and giggling. And I just fell asleep. You never knew what you were going to get.
I don't feel like when we were in college that there were even differences. There was always just some dude who had a friend who lived in some other state or something that was like, hey, I just got a new, and they had like the big gallon size baggies, which is like the only time I ever saw gallon size baggies. Yeah. It was like, wow, what are these? So like, oh,
the giant
and they'd come in and then, there'd be a couple people in there like picking stems and seeds out of things. And I don't know. It was like it was a whole weird. There was also like head shops were really big at that time, and everybody smelled like sandalwood and
Joker and skulls with
chokers
like Joker.
Yes,
hats.
The hats.
Yeah, the 90s head shops. It was a whole thing.
Those were good times. I have to say, those were good times. You'd go in those head shops, and be like, oh man, I think maybe I am a mystic. I should grow my hair out and get like my clothes need to be more flowy. More like patterns.
Have you ever heard a rain stick?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard
like that
on weed?
Or like the Pearl Jam hat. Like the guy that played bass in Pearl Jam.
The floppy sort of 70s had like, knit beret.
Kind of like, but it was a very 90s version of that, like it was like the dread, like I think there were hats that maybe if you had dreads, it was the hat you were supposed to like put your dreads in or whatever.
Oh, I see.
And then the white guys would wear them and not have dreads. And so then they'd just kind of be floppy because there's no dreads to put in there.
I see. Yeah.
I think so. I was up in the Northwest at this time. So this was very Seattle, Spokane kind of Washington, Oregon.
Excuse me.
White dreads. Bend, Portland vibes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, a lot of that going on.
Let's see if I can share my screen here. Yeah, I found there we go. Pearl Jam bassist hat.
There you go.
It was kind of rainbowed, big floppy hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else?
Those things were everywhere.
He had some kind of Jamiroquai. What is this?
Yeah, this is way before Jamiroquai, though.
This is pre-Jamiroquai.
McCready. Is that Mike McCready?
So this is...
No, Mike McCready is the
Emmett.
guitar... Jeff Emmett. That's right, Jeff Emmett.
Yeah, his hat game was strong. I wonder if he knew...
He always had a hat.
I wonder if he knew that he was losing his hair at an early age. Is that where this comes from?
I think it became a thing.
He's the hat guy.
I think so. That makes sense, though. You got to have, like, you kind of have a prop, and then all of a sudden you get known for your prop, and you're like...
Right?
He can take his hat off, and no one will recognize him.
Whoa, yeah. I didn't think about it like that.
It's like a magic cape a little bit.
Best of both worlds.
You take the hat off. It's like Slash. It's like Slash. If Slash puts his hair back and he has no hat on, he just looks like a guy.
Can't just be a guy.
He doesn't really... I mean, he looks like, if you're there, he looks like Slash, but it's like...
But you wouldn't pick him out of a crowd.
Oh, right. You kind of have a... Yeah, like it becomes kind of this costume where you can become this character of Slash or whatever.
Yeah, it makes sense. Right. Iconography. It's a silhouette.
Jeff Emmett,
have you
same way.
Do it like in art classes and things. You guys ever talk about the silhouette? That's the big thing in design.
No.
If you should be able, at least it's their character design in cartoons, but it kind of transfers that in design of anything. But it's about the silhouette. If you could identify the product, the character, the person, just in the shape of them. Like I think like you could have a silhouette of Slash.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's one of those sort of
like it should be so iconic.
Yes, a Mickey Mouse. Obviously, everyone knows that as a silhouette, as a shape.
Yeah,
Nike. These things are almost ground down to just their flattest sort of shape possible. But but it works for characters too. You know what I mean? All the big five, all the Disney big five, you know, Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, Goofy.
Yeah.
I'll have a silhouette, you know, basically it's Minnie is just Mickey with a bow between the two ears, and same thing with Donald and Daisy kind of thing. But
how dare you? Minnie is much more than that, Randy.
She does have big red shoes. You're right.
Yes. And a personality. Let's be honest.
Of course. Right. Yeah. Nothing can stop us now. There's oh my God, I could go down Mickey Mouse rabbit holes for so long, but I'll stop on such a stony day as this. I don't want to blow your mind, man, about Mickey Mouse.
I still love the cigarette in the hand.
Oh yeah, the Walt
Disney one,
the 2-finger pointing, because the
2-finger point.
I mean, there's a beautiful documentary that's on Disney Plus now. That's it was a Disneyland Handmade, and it's from Ub Iwerks' daughter Leslie Iwerks, or his granddaughter Leslie Iwerks, who's done a bunch of good documentary stuff about Disney. But this Disneyland Handmade is incredible archival footage that she found while doing. She did a documentary called the Imagineers story. I forget the Imagineering, and about all this sort of group of people that they're the first wave of Imagineers. But there's all this great archival footage of them building Disneyland and all of the construction workers and everything, and it has no sound. And it was all black and white, but she took all the footage. I think they colorized some of it, or color added, and then they had people at Skywalker Ranch do a whole sound design on it. So when you see a tractor rolling through mud, but it feels appropriate, you know, like sound goes with it. And it's all silent. I think it's all silent. I don't know if they have voiceover work, but you can see, you know, basically these guys with short sleeve white shirts, a pack of cigarettes, a hard hat, pulling Disneyland up out of the ground, you know, knocking down the orange grove that was there, digging out the trenches that would make the Jungle Cruise, and building the wooden frame that would be the, Cinderella's or Sleeping Beauty's castle. It's incredible. The whole thing, you know, and it's like an hour long, and it's like, I'm just watching footage of this all happening here in front of me. But there's a lot of Walt stomping around in orange groves and everything, and guys falling off of tractors. You know, you're just like, this is a total OSHA violation. But again, you know, you put yourself in that mindset. This is, you know, it was 1954. They had 1 year to really from when they broke ground to when they would change the world with this one place.
Couple morning whiskeys and get out to work.
Yep. Can of beans. Yeah. Drive from Glendale, or where was he living? You know, in Burbank, Los Feliz. Drive down I don't even know if they had the 5 freeway then. I think it does just turn into kind of like country roads at some point.
I mean, when were the first like major interstates? That wasn't until the 60s, right?
It could have been, no, I think interstates. I don't know, to be honest.
Well, because they had like Route 66, they had all of that. I know the 110 was the first actual freeway. Considered the first freeway? It's the 110.
Oh, well, here they're saying Dwight
turned into the Route 66.
Yeah, Dwight Eisenhower, National System of Interstate and Defense Highways, came into being in 1956. Federal Aid Highway Act. 1956.
So close.
So
right around the
year
same
after, July 1955, I think it was Disneyland, somewhere in there. Anyway, it's beautiful. It's fun. Amazing. It's fun to watch, especially if you're stoned on weed.
Especially, man. Speaking of being stoned,
good things to watch.
Speaking of building, have you heard the new conspiracy theory? Have we talked about this?
No, which one?
I have a conspiracy theory about the conspiracy theories, by the way, that I've been working on. That the Earth, that there's been multiple resets, but very, very much more modern, and that like that now it's all these guys, and I don't even know if they're real people. I do feel like they're the AI. Like when they come up with, they have the video in the background, and then there's just kind of the floating talking head down in the corner. Mm-hmm. You know those videos?
Oh yeah.
And it's just like we've been visited by aliens 55 times in the last, but then the grammar gets a little weird sometimes, and they go like they put S's where there's not an S, or they put, and at first
the pronunciation is just wrong for a word that shouldn't be that
just a little
hard.
bit, just enough.
Well, that's AI.
And then at first, like a couple months ago, I was like, oh, it's weird. It must be like English as a second language with some of these people. No. And then I started, I'm like, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. They're all AI people.
Yeah.
And they're just seeing like the ones that do the best or get the most hits. They're actually trying to see which AI bot is working the best as far as like getting the most comments or whatever, and that the content might not even have anything to do with it, that they're actually just testing out their little AI people to see like which ones work, which ones are the most believable. Mm-hmm. That's one thing.
Okay.
But then the other one, the actual conspiracy is that like these buildings, like they're showing like, you know, an old image of Idaho or something, Boise, Idaho, and it's the middle of Idaho, and there's just dirt roads everywhere, and then there's this amazing, beautifully built courthouse, you know, marble, like kind of old style architecture, and the whole thing is just, there's no way people built this without cranes. Like that's just it. There's no way people built this in time. This building must have existed, and then there was a reset between 1780 and 1840 that we don't know about. And there used to be a whole civilization, hundreds of years old, because this looks like Grecian architecture and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh my God, this is the dumbest thing. And then all of a sudden, I mean, I clicked on one of them, or it just came in.
This is the conspiracy theory. Oh, I see. Right.
This is the conspiracy theory that like all of these buildings, that the United States is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years like older, and that they've just changed all the books, and that there's no way that in the 1700s people built these. Like they were like, New York, this is what New York looked like in 1886, and this is what it looked like in 1890. You're telling me in 4 years they built all these buildings? And then people are like, well, yeah. Yeah, there's millions of people there. And there was a huge amount of investment that went into building all these things, and then here's the plans and here's the thing. But then it's just taken over, like at least my feed. I'm like, oh my God, how do I stop getting these things? I guess I probably should stop just going on Instagram or whatever. But then the whole thing, and then the fact that ancient Egypt doesn't exist, and that America is actually ancient Egypt, and that the Grand Canyon, that there's like a Sphinx in the Grand Canyon, and that
I'm starting to feel high now. I know what you mean now. Yeah,
oh my God, this is the perfect. When you said 420, I'm like, oh, we're getting into this is like the stuff you talk about. The first year of college.
The pyramids came out of the Grand Canyon.
Have you ever? No. And this is real of a conspiracy. What you're saying is that like there's all these pyramid, like that this mountain is actually a pyramid. Look at all these mountains. They're actually pyramids, and they were melted by dragons. We're like, oh my God, what is happening? Dragons. Wait, why am I in this pit?
Dinosaurs are dragons. Yeah.
Yes, dinosaurs are dragons. Yeah. That's the good one. But then the dragons have melted multiple buildings and pyramids, and that's what like these mounds of stone are actually melted from dragons. And so then my conspiracy theory with conspiracy theories is now that all of these things are getting pushed up to the top, whereas before, this is the thing that would happen, that would end up in a journal that some guy self-released like 30 years ago, and it would be a paper that would end up in a used bookstore in the back of the fantasy section, like whatever, and like 100 people would read it total. Right. And now they've taken all of that stuff and they pop it all the way up to the top to get views and whatever, and to also just like fill your feed with this like what is happening vibe and this like existential dread. The existential dread vibe of like, oh my God, I can't. And then when the Epstein stuff comes out and the IMF monetary fund stealing the money in Israel, and like all that stuff comes out, that in our brains we're like, well, these are just conspiracy theories too. It's none of it's real. Right. Like, so because I feel like that's what I've been feeling, or that's what other people, even when everyone's like, I don't even know what to believe. And I'm like, oh,
none of it.
This is the point. Like nothing is believable.
You flood the media with make you distrust your eyes. Like, well, I saw a video of a guy being shot. Like, but did you? What if? Yeah. And you're like, oh, wait, don't trust your eyes.
Remember that other one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember the Bigfoot one that was faked? Well, that 9/11 was faked as well. There's no planes. Remember that, guys? That was all digitally manipulated on such and such, and it just like go on and on and on. I mean, the amount of people that have been on podcasts, just like whatever, interviewing people, and that have said like, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm starting to not trust the moon landing. Like, this is like a big people that are interviewing big people and even interviewing scientists, and they're like, wait, did you say you don't trust moon landing? Like, well, I mean, it is weird that you can't see the stars, and like, hold on, you're like a big, this is not like little conspiracy, kind of like, oh, there's this kooky guy who thinks the earth is flat. Like, no, this is with someone with millions of people that are viewed and are like putting up fake videos of the Artemis whatever and going, look, you can see through this ball. And then someone's like, you guys, that's an AI video. It's not even.
But it doesn't matter. Real. No, it's obvious. Yeah, but
they're like, but they took it off the NASA site, and they're like, no, it never was on.
Yeah, if you can get people to
totally is a strategy.
Instead of fighting about real things, what if we fight about made up things?
Well, not even the fighting now. It's just not even believing your own. Like, you're fighting with your own brain now. Like, you don't even.
You don't even have to fight with others online. You can just have your own cognitive dissonance. Occupy your own time. Although the thing I was going to say, I was recently going through 1984.
Yeah,
in a classroom, and the big saying, the big saying that's etched into the buildings is war is peace, freedom is slavery, and ignorance is strength. And this just plays in perfectly to this ignorance is strength. I mean, I think that's like applies to Joe Rogan kind of mindset, but I think we've evolved even further past that. But if like the idea of being not knowing anything became just as okay as knowing things, this is sort of our cultural idea. And the whole conspiracy run is the idea that people want to make order out of chaos, right? They see this kind of chaotic world around them where everything's but like, no, but really there is a secret structure to all of this. And like, or we just live in a horrible place where terrible things happen, then people forget about them and go do other horrible things. And that there's, people are run by greed and sex and power. And if you put those same people, generations after generation, those people are in power, they're going to do the same fucked up things.
Right. Well, and it also, it brings up, it actually, I think it gives people a bit of a sense of, even though it feels like it drives you crazy, it gives people a little bit of a sense of, I don't want to say calm. What's the right word? I don't know, but a little sense of calm, thinking that there are smart people above you running things, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Sure, security,
right? Like it's it's a little bit of the God complex, and like, well, I don't know, like why did this person die? It was too young, whatever. And I'm like, well,
God's
God has interesting plans, and that you do things you'll never know until you die, and it gives you this sense of like, well, I guess I can move on, right? Because you like when you realize you don't have any control, and the people above you have so much control, and like, well, at least there's these people, even though they're horrible and they're doing horrible things, at least they're in control, and I don't have to try to make these decisions or something. You get that. I think it is that. Like, I think that there is a lack of. There's maybe less kind of religious thinking in general. I think there's less people that would consider themselves like staunchly one religion or another, or whatever. But then a lot of those people, you see them also go towards this kind of conspiracy, like that like almost like a realistic religion. Like, yeah, we don't have the gods up in the sky anymore. We have the reptilians inside the government taking over the planet, and they have their hands in everything, and they're running the whole thing, and there's not much I can do about it. And it's kind of the same thing as like, well, there's an omnipotent being up in the sky that's controlling everything, and there's nothing much I can do about it.
Yeah.
You know,
you come to the same answer either way, no matter how you get to it.
Yeah.
You realize,
yeah. But you can monetize the one. I mean, I guess you can monetize religion, obviously, too.
No one's ever made money off of religion.
But they've realized how to monetize the non-religious now. We're like, the non-religious need a religion. Let's give them lizard
conspiracies.
people.
Yeah. I think there's a thing in it too where, you know, a lot of this stuff, especially sort of the anti-science, sort of pro-ignorance sort of stuff, it's like it works as a good sort of freshman sort of thought starter. Like, like somebody comes in like, hey, I did a lot of thinking. It's like, great, you've done a lot of thinking. You're probably an intelligent person. Here's the deal though. You have no research. You have no work put it to cite any of these things. You haven't applied any of this thinking. So you're like a smart kid who needs to be challenged. Like, here's your challenge. Go to the library, research everything that's been documented already about the thing that you're interested in. Take all of that information in with an open mind and cross-reference that with other books that exist. We do turn it into a speculative project, into a research project. And then at the end, you can synthesize your hypothesis based up. Now it's founded on some, you know, centuries old research. And not saying that you're wrong. However, like in the scientific method, you have to challenge it. You can't just say, I thought of an idea. And it's like, okay, well, everyone can think of an idea. That's not really, doesn't become a fact, or doesn't become something that you shouldn't be embarrassed letting out of your mouth until you've actually put research behind it. You know, but I think but the audience doesn't think of it that, you know what I mean? If you're just talking to people on TikTok or any kind of social media platform, it's just like, all right, sounds good. I like ideas. Like, I have an idea too. And then it becomes, you know, it's kind of similar to what we're doing here. You know, it doesn't,
so Randy,
it doesn't take much.
The lizard people wrote all the research, Randy. So
I see. Right.
We need to make our we may need to make our own research, and big tech is keeping us from truly researching. And so what we need to do is use our brains, which were given to us by God.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Remember that. That's I just want to put that out there, that none of anything written in books is not real. I'm just putting that out there first.
Yeah. But this feels a lot like the conversation, you know, around like punishing Galileo to death because he said Earth wasn't the center of the universe.
Is the same.
But I don't know what side he's on though. Was he the conspiracy guy, or were they the conspiracy guy? You know, I don't quite. You know, did he look like a crackpot? Like, no, how could Earth not be the center of the universe?
Yeah.
You know,
it was made for us. It was made for us. How could it not be the center? Why wouldn't it be? Why would there be all these other things around? Also, space is not real. Remember?
Oh, right. Forgot about that part.
I forgot about that part too. I mean, it is true that all of these conspiracy theories just cut off any kind of thoughtful, like, I mean, I guess research is the only way to put it, but thoughtful second steps. It makes people think, like, when they go like, well, the person that wrote that book went to school at Harvard, and you know who the president of Harvard is. Like, they got their money from the IDF, and the IDF sponsors this. And so you could never trust anything that comes out of the professor that wrote this book, you know, and then it just makes people go, my mind is jelly. I'm going to go scroll. I'm going to go doom scroll for a while.
I'll go to the next one. This
is too much to think about.
But I mean, I love the idea of so many things. I mean, I feel like it really is.
Can we see puppies falling off chairs again?
Oh no. I mean, these are good bases for cool fiction. I mean, this is science fiction, or this is historical fiction in one way or another.
Totally, 100%.
They're not bad ideas, and those kind of. It's just really so much about the point of view that you have, and even like tickling that mindset. Like, but what if it was real? Like I've read so many books where you just kind of go like,
100%.
It's spooky because it could be real. Handmaid's Tale, or Handmaid's Tale, or these sort of things where it's like, dun, 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 like what if the Nazis won the war instead of losing the war, and you go, ooh, now we're in a fiction kind of thing, let's roll out with things. But then the conspiracy side of it is just that you cross that really thin barrier.
For 60 years, Heal Sound has provided innovative, professional, quality sound for stage, studio, broadcast, and podcast. Grammy-winning artists and sound engineers worldwide trust Heal microphones for their legendary sound. To find out more about the full line of Heal microphones and products, visit healsound.com. That's HEILSOUND.com. I'm using a Heal PR40 microphone right now.
To no, the Nazis did win the war, and here's how it's happening. Oh, okay. It's the what ifs become it happened. Which I think, as a provocative or a provocatorial, sort of kicking the beehive sort of thing, that's always fun too. I'm not against that. Or Art Bell, sort of theater of the mind. It's experimental performance art to it all. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a certain amount of that I enjoy. All of that type of Instagram reel, or those sort of social media things that are being pumped into my brain. Like, it's kind of fun. It kind of feels like Art Bell. Like, I want to see people being cooked out on the internet for about 10 to 15 seconds at a time. That sounds fun. It's like taking a call on Art Bell, like, but what if there was a thing? Like, that was kind of fun. Okay, let's see what the next guy has to say. There's an ice wall at the end of the world that's on the back of a turtle.
Here's how I prove it. Have you ever seen a real star? Like, wait, what?
Atoms don't exist. We are not made of molecules.
Ooh, how about viruses don't exist? Have you seen that? Or no, germs. There's no such thing as germs. Have you seen that one? Yeah, that's a good one.
What does that mean?
Oh, I don't even know. I listened to someone try to explain, and they're like, no, they're not even germs. They're this and that. And germs was a term that was made up by the pharmaceutical company. And you're like, oh, God.
See, this is, I think you start to get into the Darwin Awards kind of thing of like, if you're so dumb and you're not willing to but also, trust the things around there, like your gene pool will get a lot thinner. We're going to go into
what I think though, which is interesting, is that I think that here's another conspiracy theory, is that they are conspiring. If you think about the people,
that's the theme for this. Like, we're supposed to talk about Imaad. But hold on. It's 420. In honor of 420.
The first 30 minutes is always talking about conspiracy theories. Are they real? Think of the people that get involved. And I think this is also like a lot of the people that get involved with religion, like with there's a striving for community. There's like a really honest need for like community and rules, and like a really honest thing that like, I want to help people. I want my family to be safe. I want I want to be a part of this community and this space and this place. And I think that what the conspiracy theory stuff did in the, like, going from like kind of pre-Trumpy, like the Q, all that stuff, is that it took all those people that were kind of hippies before, right? Like kind of hippies, kind of like, were really concerned that their kids were not getting a good education in public school, and were really concerned about the fluoride in the water, whatever, all these things, for a real reason of like, no, I really want to be healthy. I want to be safe. I want my kids to be safe. I want to live in a safe place. And then it took that idea of these people that are striving for something better, and turned it into, they're all coming to get you, but you're the only one with the information. And they took these people that really could have also been turned into really kind of lefty social justice, like, people as well, Like there could have been that line that could have been like, hey, we're going to go out and we're going to help. We're going to build 10,000 soup kitchens this year with government funding, and we're going to try to get homeless people off those. I feel like those same people done like pushed the right way could have also been pushed to support that kind of drive too. Right. But they got their grubby little hands in there and went, oh my God, wait, what if we talk about how the government is trying to get fluoride in, and there's planes are putting like calcium or whatever aluminum in the atmosphere, and
frogs are making
and it worked.
They're making
and then all of a sudden it worked, and they're like, oh, this is way easier. And they pushed all of that stuff out, and that all of those people, then they were like the anti-vaccines and the anti-this and the anti, and then they just went, oh my God, it worked. We got it.
No stopping.
We did it. And then, but then all of a sudden those conspiracies, like a lot of the people were like, this doesn't seem like it's working out. Well, it's like, well, did you know the earth is flat? Yeah, that one's not working. Okay, what's the other one? Or now we're back to lizard people. Who was the big guy? David Icke? You remember that guy?
No.
He was the big conspiracy guy during Art Bell days that was like lizard people, hollow earth, the moon isn't real. Like he had, so all of these conspiracy theories, I think if you look back to David Icke, who also potentially he could be like a crazy racist also. I don't remember.
The lines begin to blur the deeper down these conspiracy rabbit holes you go.
These are all like 70s and 80s deep cuts of the conspiracy realm. Anyway,
you find yourself getting hit with information. You're like, I was just here for the lizard people. I don't know why we're talking about racism now. It doesn't really help us at all. Yeah. I love it though. I mean, it definitely is. It's a fascinating game. You can sort of play with your mind and sort of turn it inside out and stuff. But it definitely, like anything, I always feel like it's a good idea to look at the money, like follow the money, like who's getting paid for this? How's anybody making any money off of this thing, and you just kind of go, okay, am I the one, you're either making money or spending money, and just your attention economy of it all. It's like if you're putting your attention on something, you're making somebody else money. Even if it's not costing you money, you've become part of a marketing data point. Like whoever you are, you're consuming this data and you're being sold advertising time. And so I feel like you're either on one side or the other of it. And oftentimes like, oh right, I'm a part of a marketing study here.
I do feel like the cyclical marketing like wheel that we're in has to derail at some point, because at some point you're going, cyclical? What do you mean? What do you mean? Well, because you're watching a thing and you're just going through ads, whether you're clicking on them or not. But even if you're just viewing an ad, someone's getting paid for you to view that ad, even though you don't buy the thing.
People bought space,
and eventually
on your eyeballs.
everything is just churning on this kind of advertising revenue. Like nothing is, like some things you pay for, right? Like you pay for some TV shows or whatever, but a lot of the things are kind of free, kind of paid for by ads, kind of who knows how they're getting paid for. Yeah. And it feels like eventually, like especially if things are getting more and more expensive and no one can afford to buy anything anymore, you're like, what do you even add? I don't know what you're going to advertise, because you're advertising us out of all of our money.
DraftKings. This is episode brought to you by DraftKings. Go ahead and bet on anything you can think of.
Exactly. And you can like bet on whether the Strait of Hormuz is going to open on Monday or whatever.
What the weather's going to be. I've seen that ad.
Oh my God. This is, it back. And then finding
the weather
out
outside of your door, you could make $5 million by guessing.
And there's no rules on it.
No.
Right? Like the people from the Trump, like the administration are like, they're like, okay, tell this one guy when we're going to make the decision on when we're going to bomb Iran or whatever. And then there's a $1 million bet that a bomb goes off at 11:42 and whatever. And it does. And that person hits the jackpot. Like, where's that money even coming from? Is it just funded by Saudi money or something? It probably.
I don't think you have to go that far in terms of who's paying out the $1 million. With all the it's like it's the lottery. It's all the dummies buying that it's going to go off at 11.52. Or no, but we all know it's really 11.30. Everybody else is putting their money into that. Then they make $40 million off of that, and they pay out $5 million to the winner and go, wow, hey, good job, you won.
We need a better grift, Randy.
You and I.
I need a better grift.
Yeah. Well, first thing I'm going to need you to do is go ahead and loosen up that morality you have. You seem to have been born with both parents. Is that right? Okay. And you seem to have some sort of sense of decency. You're going to have to go throw all that out the door. In order to get a really good grift going, you're going to need to lower. We're going to dig a basement in your basement of your soul to really put all those bad feelings in. Because you're going to be looking straight people in the face and kicking them in the teeth financially.
Yeah.
And you're going to really need
to just going, hey, it's business, man.
You got to keep smiling while you're ripping people off. I think that's the hardest part of that's
where
the grift
business.
becomes
it's
real.
Just business.
Yeah. And you realize, like, ouch, like they're really destroying people's lives. But if you can, but again, if you can couch it in the terms of capitalism, then it doesn't, it feels less personal when you kick a family out of their house and repossess all of their belongings. So, well, you didn't pay the 18%, interest rates. It's like, but that's predatory also. Yeah, well, hey, I'm just doing my job. I don't know what to tell you.
Just doing my job.
Now all of your stuff belongs to the bank because you couldn't afford to make the high interest payments on the thing that you had. So wait, what did I do wrong?
And then
you were poor. But you couldn't get a job. Like, well, yeah, but because you're not really supposed to get jobs because you don't have an education. I was supposed to get education. We're really supposed to be born in somewhere that had more money.
Well, and then as the bank is gonna sell it to someone with money for a third of the cost just to get it off off of their balance sheet. And they're like, well, why don't you sell it back to the person you just took it for a third of the cost? Oh, we'd never do that. Why would we?
They have bad interest, or they've been.
So you're saying you could
credit. They can't afford it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you could sell it for a third of the cost to someone with the cash, and just to get it off your balance sheet. But you won't sell it to the person who owes you the money to get it off your balance sheet to sell it back to them for a third of the cost. No, why would we do that? They were bad people. They made bad decisions. Oh,
well, because but the bad decision being they didn't pay on time every month. I think that's the whole line of.
But your bank's still fine, and you made billions of dollars.
Of course,
last year.
But,
no, we're good.
You can't let people slide on payments. You're going to send bruisers down there. That's where it really the grift of it all is. You put on a white collar and a suit and sit in the big building, and there's the grift. Man, don't you get it?
We should have got into crypto.
Well, there's a grift. Hey,
I remember almost buying one
of all the grifty grifts you could grift.
I remember almost buying one Bitcoin back in the day for like $10.
But then you realize how insane that would be.
And then was like, I got to open this wallet thing. This seems annoying.
Yeah.
This seems annoying.
It is.
$1 million or $100,000 later would have been great. I would have never kept it that long. It would have gotten up to like 50 and I'd been like, oh my God, I made $40 in 2 years.
Sell this now.
This is crazy. Like, get rid of this now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My favorite story of the guy that bought a pizza with 3 Bitcoins.
Yeah. Yep. I know. Although it dropped 40% recently.
Oh, good. So
I look at that and I go, this makes no sense to me. I mean, it does, but it makes sense that it's a complete grift. But then you look at it and it goes, I guess everything just kind of
everything's
is.
a grift. Yeah.
It just more things have more rules attached. So the grift is a little bit less available, kind of like it's a little more stable, but really at the end of the day,
silver,
especially seeing how things are now.
Silver. Don't buy crypto. Oh, yeah? Buy silver and gold. Oh yeah.
Okay. But I heard that Iran like stole all our gold or something. I don't know. Have you heard this? Have you heard the good one that there's no gold in Fort Knox?
Well, that's been around.
That's a good one
since the 60s or 70s. Yeah.
Well, and then, but I didn't know that Elon Musk was supposed to. He was like, when Trump gets in, I'm gonna go and do a live stream of me walking in, and then he was like, oh, we don't really need to do that. What it have? And I'm like, oh my God, it's real. What is happening?
But you have to have the thought experiment. Like, what if there is no gold in Fort Knox? Does it even really matter? Does anybody really think that America's power derives from its gold reserves?
Maybe some people do.
That has us back to, we haven't been on, the dollar hasn't been connected to gold for decades. So it's not as though you could.
That's why they ousted Nixon, right? Because he took us off. Didn't he take us off the gold reserve or the gold standard? I think he did.
Maybe.
Look it up. Look it up.
Yeah. Hey, man.
And they ousted him.
Do your own personal research.
Do your own research, man. Yeah. Don't just listen to the man. That's not what happened. They were trying to. They went into the DNC or wherever to try to get something that proved Nixon didn't take the gold. I don't know. I'm trying to make up a good.
Nixon has the gold, man.
I was gonna try to get an AI to start writing conspiracy theories for me.
Oh,
that I could.
I don't
start
think that would be hard to do.
I don't think so. I think you'd have to probably get it to. You'd have to do one of those things that were like, we're just writing a movie, and then get it to write some good conspiracy theories and see if it comes up with some good ones with facts, real facts. That's going to be my grift.
It has to be made up based on facts.
Yeah. Based on true facts. I want to tie in Bigfoot, the Hollow Earth, Bigfoot, and the gold standard.
Here we go. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I put in conspiracy theories. Okay. The Tuesday delay theory. Every Tuesday, time actually runs 3% slower worldwide, but governments smooth it out digitally so nobody notices except for the people who feel extra tired. I like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Left socks disappear on purpose. Washing machines don't lose socks randomly. They're designed to consume one from each pair as part of the hidden textile recycling program.
Wow.
Trees are listening devices. Certain old trees in cities have been fitted with microscopic sensors that monitor environmental sounds and conversations for urban analytics, in quotes.
That's probably true. That's definitely true.
Let's see. The moon has off hours. The moon isn't always there. There are brief windows when it's replaced by a projection while maintenance and observation happens. Pretty good. Dream
I feel
ads.
Like I've heard that one.
Corporations have figured out how to insert product ideas into dreams, which is why you sometimes wake up craving something you didn't care about before.
That makes sense.
Right. Autocorrection is training us. Autocorrect doesn't just fix mistakes. It gradually nudges language toward a simplified global dialect to make future communication easier for AI systems. This is coming from ChatGPT.
Wait, that's AI? That's coming from AI?
Yeah,
that one's definitely real. And say which one of these is is actually real. Yeah. And they're like, wait, you're not allowed to ask that one.
Mirrors lag by a fraction of a second. Reflection aren't perfectly real time. There's a microscopic delay that occasionally reveals alternate versions of reality, but our brains filter it out. Whoa. And last one, number 10. I feel like this is like the David Letterman, like top 10 stupid things that computers want you to know. Pets know more than they show. Cats and dogs fully understand human language, but collectively agree not to reveal it to maintain their current lifestyle.
Well, I've seen Disney movies about that one.
Secret Life of Pets. Yeah, we need.
Yeah, Secret Life of Pets. Like all the times at night when your dogs and cats leave and go run rampant in the city. We all know those are true.
Yeah, that's true. Elevator music mind control. Elevator music is subtly engineered with tones that make people more compliant and less likely to question authority in enclosed spaces.
Have you heard this one?
No, this is all from ChatGPT.
This isn't about elevator music, but that they changed the frequency of notes from like what it used to be
440 or from 435.
Like they changed the frequency of like
the A.
Right.
Yeah.
We've heard this one before.
Oh, hey. Am I a musician?
Because one of them is more soothing and one of them is more
agitated.
Like it makes you feel agitated. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we're at now. The 440 is more inharmonious with nature's.
Yeah, where are we supposed to be? What are we supposed to be at? 420? Yeah.
Hey.
Bringing it back.
So good. Oh man. Okay, well let's talk about Imaad Wasif real quick. It was great talking with him. Yeah, had you heard Lowercase or Alaska?
By the way, Lowercase, I had no idea I didn't know. I love Lowercase. I still have I still have multiple Lowercase songs on like my classroom mix. I have it on like my driving mix. I have it on like all that stuff. I love that the album like with the two got the drawing on it. I don't know which record it is, but it's got like the it's like the white album. It's got like the drawing of the two or three people on it or something. Yeah. I love that band. It's so good.
Oh yeah, the
so
Going
good.
Away
So I had
Yeah.
Because what was that?
99.
When was that?
May 4th,
99, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that's when I was My Vitamins, the Vern from Unwound label.
Oh, that makes so much sense. Okay. Yeah, because I remember like my last year in Portland, and I was trying to think if I ever saw them play. I'd have to go look, because I did see Unwound play in Portland right before I left, so that would have been 99.
Okay, so probably,
but I don't think
they were playing shows.
I don't think they played that. I don't think they played that show with Unwound. But I feel like I saw. I don't know. I feel like I saw them. I saw a lot of bands back then. But yeah, it's one. I just love that. Like I went back and listened to some of those songs just last night after he said that, and was like, yeah, that's like my that and Unwound and just all those bands at that point. I don't know even what do you call that? It's like indie rock, but it's dissonant.
Yeah,
kind of. Wow. Yeah, like Slint was obviously
post-alt.
like in that. And a lot of that K Records and stuff. They all had bands that were in that vibe.
Yeah,
heavy, but also
slow,
kind of jangly guitars
dissonant.
And slow and kind of screaming, but then also some vibes like singing vibes. Yeah,
there's definitely some.
No, I love that band, Lowercase.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Imaad. That's right.
I mean, his story was so interesting.
Yeah. It was funny. After the interview, Brian, his bandmate in Lowercase, reached out with a copy of the calendar that they had, and they actually played The Smell when it was in North Hollywood on right around those dates. It was funny. He was trying to, because he listened to the interview and was trying to figure out what we would have been talking about. And let's see here. Yeah, we
found it.
We found it. It said. Where was it? So probably they're saying The Smells. Yeah, the North Hollywood Smell. They played April 15th, 1999. So that would have been probably where I saw them.
Yeah,
I don't remember. It's one of those kind of things too, just not knowing. I remember we were by The Smell, but I thought we saw them at the place next to it. It could have also been that we just got there late and we just talked to them outside of the show and didn't even go into the show. It could be, you know what I mean? It's one of those kind of things of like so long ago. I'm like, I remember the band though. I remember hearing it. I must have gotten the CD or something, you know, I must have gotten the record. Excuse me.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a small world. And then all these years later, you know, he would go on to play in Yeah-Yeahs and all the other incredible things he did. He actually played in the band Alaska with Leslie, who plays in the Nervous Action band that I'm in now. So I was talking to Leslie.
Oh, really?
She knows him really well. Yeah, she played with him for a bunch of years.
She's a drummer?
Yes. Yeah, she was in the Red Ants, a cool all-girl punk band here from Southern California in the 90s. And then it's gone on playing a bunch of other bands. But yeah, it's a real small world when you look at it. And then even like Imaad's, you know, touring with Lou Barlow and with Elliott Smith, kind of seemed parallels with the Aaron Espinosa interview we had just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. And then, I love all, I mean, has there been a movie about those times? Like the mid to late 90s into the 2000s? Because it really is like, it's kind of the weird I mean, because you also always obviously have the year punk broke. You have the Sonic Youth and Nirvanas, and you have that like the bands that kind of achieved extreme success. But then it also like there's this DIY culture kind of like DIY-ish. I don't know what you call it, but there's this middle area of I don't know, indie rock, you'd call it. I guess it would all kind of indie rock, punk, like those bands that survived through all of that stuff that became big enough to have a lot of fans, but not like there wasn't a
breakthrough sort of.
They weren't like top
success.
30, top 50 bands or whatever.
Right.
But you have like, I mean, you brought up the Melvins, which is like the perfect analogy, right?
Yeah.
But then you have all those John Spencer Blues Explosion and Folk Implosion, and I mean Elliott Smith got
I would
huge,
put like Modest Mouse,
but,
sort of that like that crossover from that scene, but there wasn't many others. Maybe Built to Spill or something. Like that,
Yep. And those songs that weren't pop songs, like because then you got like the Jimmy Eat Worlds, which came from that, but way poppier, right? Like radio songs, but still with the same ethos as all of those bands. But so you have those kind of
Volta and all that kind of world of stuff,
right. And you have those bands that existed without making like big pop songs on purpose, or the Built to Spills and the and all of that. But then every time I hear when you guys are talking about like Lou Barlow, like I know nothing about Lou Barlow.
Oh my God.
But I know his name
yeah.
forever. I know Folk Implosion. I mean, Sebadoh. A little bit maybe.
Oh yeah.
But I know a little bit of Sebadoh. Because that was when I was in college, and that was like it was considered college rock. It was not indie rock yet. It was called college rock. But then Sebadoh, it was one of those bands that at that time, too slow for me. And I didn't get it. I was like, you guys, this seems like
bedroom core.
It's kind of like a country. What is this? I don't know. I was like, I'd just been introduced to like Melvins and
it was not necessarily the
maybe
rock
listening
stuff.
to Metallica.
But I think on purpose, because I think Lou was coming out of the Dinosaur Jr. sort of big, heavy rock, loud guitar world, and he was trying to do something really stripped down and quiet.
Right.
Yeah. Not.
Oh yeah, and Dinosaur Jr. is the perfect example too. Right. Yeah. It was like a one big song here and there from like a album, from a movie or something that people know that don't know the band, but really they exist in this area in between. Mm-hmm. That's just fine.
Yeah.
Like they're
you
huge
can survive.
to a certain amount of people.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And then you have like the Mike Watts, and you have the like all those people that like go in and out of like being in the Stooges for a while and then coming at, But I love all these stories of especially lately when you get Aaron and Imaad, and I mean I feel like you've interviewed like 20 people that have like
this is my sweet spot,
circled
bro.
in and out of like in and out of that like
late 90s, early aughts.
We all saw Nirvana. It's a bunch of people who saw Nirvana play before they got big,
changed their life,
and then maybe played in bands with some people that were like within
around that world,
1 degree of separation from that world. But it's a really cool, like interesting, because then you also have like you have K Records and you have Sub Pop and you have and like maybe it was the burgeoning, if that's the right way to say it, of indie, like kind of indie, so-called indie record labels.
Yep. Oh man,
like these record labels that were able to exist.
I have to bounce. Let's shut it down. Yeah, we're almost there.
Yeah.
Perfect
timing.
Awesome, man. Okay, good to see you. We'll talk more next week.
All right.
Okay, bye.